Hello and welcome to the Crafty Elf Workshop. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make these sweet little boxes. They measure 2 inches by 2 inches and 2 inches high. The possibilities are endless. They're wonderful for weddings, showers, any sort of gift that you want to put in that's small, a little takeaway gift. They are so cute. You only need 2 things to make them: cardstock and ribbon, other than your supplies, but basically cardstock and ribbon. It doesn't get any easier than that. So let's begin. What you're going to need are 2 pieces of cardstock measuring 6 inches by 6 inches and ribbon, piece of ribbon measuring 18.5 inches. I will put the measurements on my video so you can check them out there, but basically 6 inches by 6 inches and 18.5 inches for the ribbon. So let's begin. I've gone ahead and I've made a template. And my template is just a piece of 8 by 11 paper that I cut a 6 inch by 6 inch square. I cut out each corner. It's 2 inches by 2 inches. And then I've marked where I want my slots for my ribbon. We'll get into that. So let's begin by cutting out our 2-inch squares at each corner. Now I have this Fiskars cutting tool. I just love it. This makes this job really easy. What I'm going to do is slide my cardstock in over to 2 inches, and I'm going to bring my cutter down to 2 inches. And then I'm just going to lift that and slide around to the next corner over 2 inches. And I'm going to cut down 2 inches. And I'm going to do that to all 4 corners. Now, this is going to come together a lot faster when you do it yourself. I have to, show what I'm doing and talk as I go and explain everything. But you're going to see how quickly these boxes come together. It's just unbelievable. Okay, once all my cuts have been made, all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the cardstock over and I'm going to do the exact same thing. You'll see that my cuts are this way. Now I'm going to make the cuts this way. And by flipping my paper over, it allows me to do that. So when I bring this down 2 inches, because I've measured over 2 inches and down 2 inches, the little corner comes right out. It's just that easy. And again, this corner slides out. Save those corners because there's so much you can do with them afterwards, and it's good cardstock, so you don't want to be tossing those out. Okay, there's the next one, and there we go. So now you've got what pretty much looks like a plus sign, and from here what we're going to do is we want to score each tab right along this line here. I've got the Martha Stewart scoring board. I quite enjoy it. I use it a lot. I'm going to bring my card right up into the corner, and I'm just going to run my foam folder along the line, and I'm just going to score. And what that does is it gives me a nice, crisp, clean line, so when I go to fold, it folds quite easily. And you don't want to go right through the paper. You want to be careful. You just want to score it enough that it folds beautifully. Okay, so from here, you're going to flip your tab up, and you're going to run your bone folder along there, and it gives it just a wonderful, crisp, clean line. Okay, so you're going to do that to both pieces of cardstock. So you're going to end up with something that looks like that. So I've gone ahead and got this far. If you use a 12-inch by 12-inch piece of cardstock, you'll get 2 boxes out of it. That's what I did here. I've already made 1 box, and I'm going to show you how I got this box here and show you some of the different variations. So once you have your top and your bottom, it doesn't matter which one's which, they're identical. This is where I used my border punch. You don't have to, you can just leave it plain. I just thought this was kind of cute with the border. You can use a different color cardstock, so you've got a different color on the bottom, a different color on the top, like I did on this one. It depends on whatever function you're making these for. Like if it's a wedding, let's say, and you've got pink and blue, then you can have one of the top be pink and the bottom be blue. It doesn't really matter. The possibilities, like I said, are endless. So this border punch flips out. I don't need all that, so it's not really important that I use that, but there's a little notch here, and I'm going to center my tab. I'm going to push it in all the way, and I'm going to center that little notch right in the middle of my tab. And the reason I'm not doing it on here is because it's probably going to make the video shake a bit. So I'm just going to do it in the air. So bear with me. And this is just kind of pretty. It just makes it fun. But I've got border punches that have birthday candles, different styles of lace. Like I said, you don't even need to put a border punch on it. But I was just going to show this particular one just because I thought it was really cute. So now that I've punched my border there, what I'm going to do is I need to figure out where I want to put my ribbon. Now, in this particular one, I tried, so I've trial and error, showed you, I've put the slots at the top and put the ribbon higher, but what happens is you can see how this flares out. I wasn't really happy with that. So the lower the ribbon, the more it keeps the box together and you get a square box. So because of the particular ribbon that I'm using, I needed a punch for my slot to be wide enough so the ribbon would fit through. So that's how I punched that. But on this particular box, I had a thinner ribbon. I used the same guidelines, and when I put this down here, I just marked with a pen. You just mark a little dot where these slots are, and you can just punch the hole. I used basically a paper punch that a paper boy used to use. Punch the holes, and then that ribbon fit through perfectly. So decide what size of ribbon that you want, and that will decide the size of the slot. I have made bigger boxes. I have another video, but the ribbon was wider, so I actually had to use this slot punch, and I punched twice to make this a little bit wider. But again, like that depends on what size ribbon that you're using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my template, and because I don't want to interfere with this lace, I'm just going to move my template up a little bit, and I am just going to take a pen here, and I've got 2 holes here, 2 holes here, 2 holes here, and 3 there. So that's going to be basically my guide, and I'm going to mark that all the way around on all 4 of these tabs, and then that way I know that my slots are going to be even. Okay, so I'm going to mark these. I hope I'm not shaking the video. And the last one, I just had so much fun making these boxes, and I just actually, to be honest, I'll lay in bed at night and think, oh, I can do this, I can do that, and then I get up in the morning and I try it. So what I'm going to do to make sure that the slots are all the same, that little dot I'm going to put at the corner here, and I'm just going to punch these. And I'm going to go around and hope I'm doing this so that you can, got to make sure that I'm in sight of the video. I can't tell you how many times I've done videos and had to start again, but that's okay. I should probably do a whole thing of outtakes. It's kind of scary. Some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth, I'll try. I think I'm saying one word and I'm saying something completely different, or something different comes out of my mouth. Anyway, so the last hole's here, and there we go. So now it's ready for the ribbon. So get my ribbon, and I measure 18.5 inches. It's wonderful, these things, they all have, well, I'm going to be a little bit short because I used it, but I'm going to work with what I've got. So it's 18.5 inches. I'm not going to be worried too much. Hopefully it's going to go around. I'm not worried too much about keeping the ribbon center, because as you can see, once I get going, you'll see how easy it slides. So where you want to start is the innermost, on any one of the tabs, the innermost slot. And the purpose for that, and you're going to go back through and down, and the purpose for that is so that you get the long end of the ribbon on the tab, because you want to see the ribbon. I'm going to come up the next one, and the next step after this is kind of important. When you bring this down, you want to go over the seam there and down, and what that does is it pulls the corners together and actually helps to form the box. There we go. And over and through. Now you'll find that this will work up quicker as you're doing it. I'm kind of holding it up in the air so you can see the video, but these really do come together quite quickly. Okay, make sure I go over that seam, pull it through, and up, and slide the ribbon along. It slides quite easily, and down, and up. But when you look at the possibilities of the ribbons out there and the cardstock, I've actually got some of that beautiful pattern cardstock, the big 12 by 12 inch sheets. It's just lovely. Like you can just, the possibilities are endless, and being able to punch different things in the cardstock, that adds another element to it. Like it's just, it's so fun. And I like to do things myself. I like to be a bit crafty, and I like to save money, and like I said, it's fun. Okay, so now I get to the last flap. Sorry, I had to pull out there. I was just getting pretty excited there. Okay, the last one, I'm going to go in there and up through the hole, and try and make sure that my ends are somewhat even, and I'll just slide the ribbon. You just have to pull it just ever so slightly, make sure my ends are somewhat even, and then tighten it. Now to help me stabilize this box a bit, I'm just going to put the bottom inside, and it just gives me something easier to work with here when I'm trying to tie the bow. So let's hope I can tie the bow with a little bit of ribbon I had left. I apologize if I cut it ahead of time. I would have noticed that. I'm going to make my bottom lip. You just tie your bow like you would shoelace, and right around and up. And there you go. So you tie your little bow. They're so cute. I just have had so much fun making these. I'm making the template. You know, I saw something and I thought, I think I can do that. So once you've got your bow, you're going to cut your little ends. You can cut them however you want. I cut mine on an angle. So there's your little box. And then all those little extra squares that you've got, I have different punches. This one here is a flower. I just, you can just punch out, I'll try and do a different color. Just punch out a flower, anything you want. Like you might, initials of the person, let's say if someone's getting married, you can put the initials. I've got one of those little pads and those little tools. It's got the rubber ball on the end, and you just push down in the middle of the flower and it gives it a little bit of a dimension. And you can put, you know, two of those together, it gives it a bit of a 3D effect. On this one here, I used butterflies. I've got balloons. You can, you know, use this tool and just push down at the end, and it gives the bottom of the balloon a little bit of texture. You can tie a little bit of string around there, attach it. Like I said, it's just to whatever event that you're trying to make these boxes for. Another little thing, this is kind of neat here. This box here, it's got that sizzle paper. You can put little candies, Easter eggs, Valentine's candies, hearts, rings. And because the cardstock's firm, it holds it quite nicely. It's a good solid box. So here's my bigger box. It's a 3.5 by 3.5 by 2 inches. And I have another video that shows that. And again, it's the same concept, the bottom. And it's pretty strong. With a good cardstock, you'd be surprised at how strong this box actually is. Well, there you go. The possibilities are endless. You can tie, when you're tying your ribbon on, you can tie it around the entire box. You don't have to make the slots to tie it through, weave it through. You can just tie it around the box. I noticed this one here, again, like if the ribbon's too high, this flares out. So the lower the ribbon, the tighter the box stays together. This one here, just tied it around, saves time. It just depends what you want. You can change up the colors of the boxes, have a different colored cardstock on top and bottom. It's a lot of fun, and like I said, the sky's the limit, and you can make any box to fit any occasion. Anyways, I hope you've learned something, and thank you for visiting the Crafty Off Workshop. Bye.